Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for IDW Sonic the Hedgehog issue 36. When we last left our heroes, Sonic, Tails, and Belle escaped the trap they were kind of in the Eggman base, and Tails got a call from Rouge telling him to come to White Park Chateau, which he did. Sonic went to meet with Amy, I think, for a quick moment. And then Amy fought a bear Badnik. Clutch escaped, I think. Belle and Cream had a little conversation going. But the important thing is that Tails went to Rouge, who revealed that she had been hypnotized by someone. The two of them were strapped to a roller coaster. Sonic and Shadow. Sonic went to go save him, ran into Shadow. And then Starline revealed himself as our Parka villain, as someone in the comments already guessed. I was wrong. It was not Mimic. It was Starline. So yeah, let's jump right on into issue 36. Also before the issue ended, Starline started an avalanche, so Sonic could either save everyone in the chateau or stop Starline. So yeah. Anyway, now we have the cover here is Sonic snowboarding down a mountainside with Tails flying above him, being chased by a pair of Badniks. We have a roller coaster in the background to kind of tie it into this issue's events, even more so. And yeah, it's just it's a simple cover, but I like it. Anyway, I have our story so far, which is basically everything I just said. Yeah. So our roll call here is Sonic, Amy, Tails, Rouge, Omega, Cream, Cheese, Jamurl, and Belle. Interestingly, no Starline. Which, considering he's, been revealed as the antagonist of the arc, is kind of weird to me, but alright. Anyway, we open with Sonic calling after Starline. Dude, what the heck? You set off an entire avalanche for a distraction? I love how he's almost offended at how over the top it is. And Starline responds, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but I couldn't resist. The heroes, forced to choose between the masses or the ones they hold dear. It's a classic. You decide. A couple 100 tons of snow falling on those innocent heads. Or Tails. Well, I mean, it's a good thing there's two hedgehogs there, which I assume is going to be the plan. But also, I just love, I've said it before, I'll say it 100 times before this series is over. I love how melodramatic Starline is. He's just such a king. Honestly, I love this evil platypus. And Shadow rushes on ahead. Enough games. Hold on. Sonic grabs him by the shoulder. You and I are the only ones with speed to catch up with that avalanche and maybe stop it. Not interested. Oh, come on. Yeah, Shadow's kind of a dick here. Go help the chateau, Sonic. We'll be okay, I promise. That's Tails. Which, like, again, them splitting up was the better plan. But was Sonic here telling Shadow to handle the avalanche while he dealt with Starline, and his only discomfort here is that Shadow's the one handling it? Maybe? I'm not sure how we're supposed to read that. But anyway, Sonic looks after Tails, pained. You'd better. And then he runs off as Shadow, spin dashes onto the roller coaster. And then Shadow makes it to the car where Tails and Rouge are. Hurry, Shadow, wait, where's he going? And Shadow just ignores them to go fight Starline. and Starline is just, going straight to the showdown? No matter. I beat you once, I'll do it again. And Shadow just, huffs at him. You didn't beat me. You only sealed your fate. And Rouge, who was already broken free on her own, like the queen she is, just, oh, for the love of, we don't have time for this. Start cutting your ropes like I did and be ready to move. I love Rouge so much. Omega, execute code word, get what's mine. And Starline notices her, hey, you're supposed to be tied up. And then Omega activates the plan he was going to do back in 34 before Shadow interrupted things. Code word accepted. Initiating auditory interference. And he does this kind of like brrr, or some kind of noise, I guess. I can't quite make out what it's supposed to sound like. But either way, it kind of startles Starline. Gah! And then he kind of falls off the roller coaster? Or he still has one foot in the roller coaster, but the rest of him is kind of like upside down over the edge. And Omega gloats. Efficacy of auditory attacks confirmed. This unit is never unarmed. I love Omega too. He's so good. I love him so much. And Starline leaning over the edge. Whoa! And then he falls. Shadow, who just wants to fight him. No! But then he uses the tricore, the flight ability of the tricore to land on the part of the roller coaster and then jump off. So, unless I'm forgetting something, though, Shadow's whole grief here is that Starline beat him a few issues ago. Is that it? Is that his whole grudge? Because Shadow seemed to be going through some kind of positive development, learning to, like, care about people in the aftermath of Metal Virus. But now here he's just kind of singularly focused on Starline, unless I'm kind of misanalyzing his whole arc, which feel free to correct me if I am. Anyway, Rouge stops him. Hold on, Shadow. I want to pound his smug face in too, but there's work to be done. And Shadow turns back to her. Don't tell me what to do. I'm not. It's your choice, and you're the one who'll have to live with it. Okay. So that seems to be kind of a thematic line for Shadow. I'm not quite sure if it's been built in before. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. That overgrown snowball is going to stop me from getting what I came for. Come on, Fox Boy. Tails has freed himself. Okay. The two of them fly off. Meanwhile, we check back in with Amy and the bear Badnik. I wish I'd known I'd be fighting a giant robo-bear today. I would have worn my good boots. And she jumps off this crate to go whack the bear with her hammer. But then the bear... I thought she was whacking him with the hammer. He's whacking a bookcase into him that crashes into the bear. It doesn't seem to be too much to the bear. But she calls back, how's it going over there, Jamurl? And Jamurl is fighting a bunch of what look like gammas. If I'm not mistaken. Though maybe they're just like prototypes, or weren't there gamma bots in some game, like clones of gamma? I have to double check, but I vaguely recall something like that. Feel free to fill in the details in the comments. But meanwhile, a couple of the Ladybug Badniks are trying to get it at Cream, but Cheese is beating it back like a king, holding position. And Cream calls out to him, Jamurl, please retreat. You're hurting yourself. And we see Jamurl getting kind of battered, bruised, like, we're seeing sparks come out of him. I will protect you, no matter the cost. Cream calls back to Belle. Miss Belle, how much longer? This last lock's a real humdinger. Give me a minute or two more. I still don't... So she's trying to free the cage with the Chao in it. But I don't understand why they didn't just have someone strong like Jamurl or something just rip the bars from the very beginning. Like that never exactly seemed impossible. But anyway, we get to see Belle as a skill as a lockpicker, which is interesting. And Cream tells the Dark Chao inside the cage, I know it's scary to fight. My friends are in a lot of trouble right now. When we get you all out, could you help me keep them safe? Please? The Dark Chao looks back and he sees all the other Chao, one like grinning, one kind of a little scared, but like willing to fight. And Cheese and the Dark Chao shake hands, completing their little rivalry arc. Cha-cha-chow! And then we see Jamurl kind of knocked over by one of the Ladybug Badniks. And Amy calls back, Jamurl! Just as she's whacked by a bear. And then, finally, at just the right moment before everyone gets fucked, Belle unlocks the cage. Done! Didn't stand a chance. And then all of the Chao come flying out, and Cream tells them, Thank you. Now, if you would be so kind, Charge! I love that. I love if you would be so kind. This is just too good. There's so many little, like, fantastic little character moments in this issue. I love it so much. But then Cream goes over to the battered Jamerl. Are you all right? I must protect you. And then Cream helps him up. You are silly. You don't have to be perfect, because I'll be here when you need help. We'll do our best to protect each other. I really, like, all through this series, I have loved Cream and Jamerl's friendship. Gemerl was honestly a character I didn't even really know before the series. Like, I remembered Emerald from Battle. But I think he's from an advanced game. I never really played the advanced games. So he was never a character I really considered. But, like, he's very much grown into one of my faves, which I've said a lot this issue. I have a lot of faves over here. But anyway, Jamerl responds, Cream, thank you. And then we see Amy, who is still struggling against the bear Badnik. How about we take a little breather? Phooey. And just then, Cream and the Chao army come in to help fight the Badnik. Don't worry, Miss Amy. We can do this together. And Amy kind of cheers, yeah! And Jamerl comes over to fight to help out with the fight. Quickly, destroy its processing core. You mean the head, right? Because that's what I'm smashing. She jumps up, yeah! And bashes it in with her Pico Pico hammer. And then kind of, like, flings backwards, like backflips. And the Badnik falls. Threat neutralized. And Amy, like, leaning on her hammer. Woo! Being stuck behind a desk. I haven't done that much cardio in a while. I'm glad Amy has the time to quip here. And Cream just tells all the Chao, you all did wonderfully. And just then, a crash comes in from the roof. As Cream looks up, what the heck? And it's Rouge, Tails, and Omega. Sorry to drop in unannounced. And then Tails tells them, grab those E100 series parts, quick. We've got to go. People are in danger. And so, yeah, now we have Sonic, who is dealing with the Avalanche itself. I'm usually running away from these things, not trying to stop them. How am I going to handle this? And then he hears a voice. I didn't know stopping an avalanche involved so much hand-wringing. Shadow, you showed! Consider this a debt repaid for Sunset City. So here's the thing, though. Back on my earlier confusion with Sonic and Shadow's conversation earlier, it seems like because like the way he phrases that seems like his plan was always for him and Shadow to go deal with the Avalanche. But then he has this, Tails tells him, go help the Chateau, we'll be okay. And Sonic seems unsure, and so there it seemed like his plan was to help Tails. But I don't know. I can't quite wrap my head around what the issue is. But something about it is just not quite clicking with me. In a way I can't quite work out. Anyway, consider this a debt repaid for Sunset City. No worries. Okay, follow my lead. I've got an idea. And he shoots Shadow a thumbs up as the two of them just start spin dashing a bunch of trees down, which is a really cool effect. A really cool idea, I mean. Not much of an effect, it's a comic, but you know what I mean. And so now the fallen trees are kind of barricading in this valley. Shame about the trees, but it's worth it. Better than I would have expected from you. And then the avalanche hits the trees, and it seems to stop as Sonic and Shadow look down on it smugly. I doubt it was going to work. Yeah, it crashes right through it. Yeah, that was kind of obvious. As Sonic and Shadow are just like utterly shocked at that, and they go to chase after the avalanche, now behind it, which is not great. I mean, they're Sonic and Shadow, they can probably catch up. But still. Anyway, so Team Tails is all running out of the building with the E100 parts as Omachao tries to stop them. No running inside the building, please. Proceed at a normal walking pace, too. This is not the fucking time, Omachao. Not the time. And Tails tells him, an avalanche is headed towards us. You need to get all the guests to safety. In the event of an emergency, we have an official warning system in place. If something were wrong, I'm sure... Uh, and Amy just gets up in his face. Get these people to the exit, or I'll make some new exits with my hammer. Capiche? Amy, I said it, I think, on 4 separate occasions in this issue. But Amy is also one of my faves. Her especially, I've said this before, but she was a character I did not really care for in the games. But just the way she's written in this series, she's such a blast. The way she just kind of like threatens Chao, what a fucking queen, we stan. And I love Tails' look of, holy shit, are we going there? Anyway, Chao turns to the guests. Attention, guests. We have just received warning of an impending danger to the chateau. Please proceed to the exits and congregate in the designated safe zones. They're going a little slow, I guess, because Rouge says, "Give them a little encouragement, Omega." Acknowledged. Raising volume. Run, pitiful Taurus creatures, or face certain destruction. Omega, once again, is a king. We should get going too. And just then, Starline appears in front of them. No, you're not going anywhere. I am having a very long day, so I'll keep this simple. All I really need is young Master Prower there. Hand him over and you can go. Deal? Wait, Tails is part of his plan? Because I mentioned this in Bad Guys, we never quite found out what Starline's plan was. You know, we knew he needed the base to get off the radar, but he kept mentioning having some bigger plans and grand scheme, and that never actually played out in the events of Bad Guys. So somehow Tails is a part of it. Probably just his scientific genius. But, like, why would Tails help Starline? And Starline already has the scientific genius, so I don't know why he'd think he'd need Tails. I don't know. Anyway, Amy responds, "Dream on, jerk." And Rouge goes to kick at him. I'm not in the giving mood either. And Belle turns to Tails. Who is that guy? Dr. Starline? An Eggman wannabe. And then she looks over and we see Starline using the power skill of the Tricore. That doesn't look like wannabe to me. Don't worry, nobody can beat Amy when she's made up her mind. And Amy gets another whack with her hammer. As does Rouge gets another kick in. Oh no, I can't seem to stop hitting you. Could this be a side effect of that hypnotism and kidnapping? Rouge again with the great lines this issue. But Starline activates his speed power. Fine. And then he dashes past them to go for Tails. What? Hey! Time to go, Fox. And he grabs Tails' tail. I don't think so. What in the world? And hold on, what happens? Oh, she pulls on Belle's tail. I think it gives her like the kung fu or whatever. And then Belle kicks him away. Oh, come on. What even was that? And we hear this kind of rumbling in the background, and Starline looks, wait, what is that sound? And he sees the Avalanche right outside the window as Tails pulls Belle away. Right. And he sees, foiled by his own plan. And we see the whole gang running away, as Starline just watches them go, kind of scared for a minute. And then the window crashes, and Starline is hit with the full force of the Avalanche. So I guess we're not getting more answers as to Starline's plan right now. Anyway, we then cut to outside of the chateau on this little terrace, as Chao is calling, "Everyone remain calm. The chateau was built to withstand this sort of event. Unbelievable. We would have been buried. Do you think they'll give us a refund?" I love that kind of like background in these big disaster, or the background characters who have so mundane needs, like asking for a refund in the middle of an avalanche. That's some good, incredibly human shit. We love to see it. And Rouge goes to fly up the mountain, dropping Omega apparently. "I refuse to be left on the floor. Elevate me immediately. I love it so much. And Rouge calls back, no sign of the boys. This isn't good. And Amy jumps down onto the snow. They're on like a second or third floor terrace, but the snow is so high that they can climb onto it. You're not going to find him that way. If you're looking for a hedgehog, you got to go to the ground. And she's like lying on the ground, ear to the snow, which causes Rouge to react. The only thing you're going to get down there is a cold ear. Shush. You should, And they hear a rumbling as Amy starts to look really confident as Sonic and Shadow come spin dashing out of the avalanche, and Rouge just responds, well, I'll be darned. And Sonic asks, is everyone alright? And Amy goes to give him a hug. It's okay, the guests got out in time. And Shadow just scoffs, so we wasted our time. And Rouge responds, Starline got hit at least. That help? And Sonic looks back at Belle. What do you know? Puppy Girl stuck around. Which calls back to his own kind of skepticism about her last issue. But Tails tells him, she did great. We got the last hit in on Starline. And then Cream chimes in, and Miss Belle helped me free Mr. Clutch's Chao. Huh, not bad. And then Sonic calls up to her, thanks for helping out. Sorry I was kind of tough on you before. And then Tails asks her, speaking of, I could use some help back at my workshop, if you would. What do you think? And then Belle lights up. Wait, really? You want my help in your workshop? Yes? Yes, absolutely! I really hope Belle sticks around longer than Mr. Tinker did, because I still wish we had a full Mr. Tinker like character arc, and I'm still bitter about that. But again, we could kind of be revisiting that, as many people have pointed out. Belle's clear, her father is clearly Mr. Tinker from the clothing outfit, the outfit design is very clearly inspired by Mr. Tinker. So hopefully, as she looks for her father, we could go back into that kind of dramatic well that's been ignored for so long. Anyway, back at the workshop, we see Cream is having a tea party with Cheese and the Dark Chao, and all the other Chows are just like playing all over the playground. And we see they're fixing up Omega's body with the E100 parts they picked up at the chateau. And Belle tells Tails, tighten up that elbow joint just a skosh. Got it. And then after finishing up, Tails turns to Omega. Why don't you go for a test drive by sparring a little with Jamurl? And Omega kind of like slams his fists together. Suggestion accepted, but I cannot guarantee Jamurl's welfare after completing the test. And Jamurl responds banters back. While I am designed as a learning robot, I am also capable of teaching you a lesson. Damn. And just then, Vanilla walks in. Hello, Miss Amy. I'm here for Cream. How was your trip? It was amazing, Mama. And she goes on to this huge spiel we can only see a little bit of as Rouge and Amy get kind of nervous. Races were so exciting, Cheese, and though the other Chao were, but it wasn't their fault. And there was an avalanche, and Starline tried to stop, and Vanilla just kind of gives Amy and Rouge a look. My, that sounds very exciting. And Rouge and Amy are visibly sweating. Rouge, turns away. She does not want to be part of this conversation. And Amy just responds, exciting, but also safe. Besides, it was Rouge's. And Rouge is completely vanished. Rouge! And then we cut to Sonic, outside, with the Dark Chao, who's looking at him questioningly. One sec. Feeling a sneeze. There we go. Phew. Got a little touch and go at the end there. Things didn't go right, but that's not what really mattered. I'm glad you came to help. And we see that Shadow is hiding behind a tree, and Sonic is well aware he's hiding behind the tree. And Shadow responds, don't overthink it, Hedgehog. And he tosses this apple he's holding to the Dark Chao, which is really cute, and I want the Dark Chao to be Shadow's friend. I mean, they're clearly already designed after each other. but I really want Shadow to just like have this gruff Chao companion who loves him very much, following him around. Anyway, don't overthink it, Hedgehog. 1 second. Don't need more water. That sneeze messed up my throat a little bit. For sure, dude. We see back with Belle and Tails. And Belle's sweeping. It's so nice to be helping out. And Tails is looking over something. As Belle continues, fixing things, solving problems. I've missed this. So what is her past then? Or what does she know of her past? Because that implies she's done that before. Unless she has memories of being with Tinker. Right? Maybe? Possibly? I don't know. Anyway, Tails looks over the same machine that Belle had when she was helping out with fixing Omega. There's something I can't figure out. This whole time, you've been reading these blueprints like it was nothing. The whole reason Sonic and I were in the base was because I needed a cipher so I could decode these files. The only person in the world who was supposed to be able to read this is Dr. Eggman. Or maybe something he created, like Orbot. I'm not mad, I just wish you'd been honest with me. He didn't create me. So Tails asks, then who did? Okay. So she doesn't answer. But yeah, Tails is put under the impression that she's an Eggman creation, which, given the popular theory about her, is not entirely wrong. But anyway, we'll see how all that plays out in the future, I think. Anyway, far away. We might get some Starline plot. Ugh, what a disaster. Would it hurt them to go along with the plan for once? It's going to take weeks to get my build back to normal, and they completely ruined my perm. Again, I love just how... I love Starline's whole vibe. He's a villain type I really love. Particularly the completely ruined my perm bit just feels like a Maximilian Pegasus line. And he's great. Although I suppose it's not all for naught. The complete specimen would have been ideal, but I still got what I needed. Yes, this should do nicely. And we see he has a little bit of Tails fur. Next time, a true test. We see our cover for a cover for next issue. Starline and Belle on an adventure together with the kind of image of Sonic, Tails, and Amy hovering above them. But anyway, Starline is going to clone Tails for some reason. That's my theory. That's the only theory I think is really available for this. Somehow, in some way, he is going to clone Tails. For what? Who knows? Maybe he was gonna make an evil Tails, and two evil geniuses are greater than one. But anyway, let's talk about this issue. I think in a lot of ways, this issue is kind of just, a wrapping up of the arc's events. There's not a whole lot of the fun of this issue is just seeing it all. Honestly, the kind of weird thing is that they kind of lose, or not lose, but like they don't stop the Avalanche. They don't really stop Starline. So it's really just kind of surviving the fallout of everything Starline did last issue, I guess. I don't know, it's kind of weird to realize that they just kind of, like, the Avalanche also just wasn't really that big a threat in the end. Everyone just kind of got to a higher level, and the building was fine. I don't know, the Avalanche ended up being kind of a weird thing. But in the end, there's the real highlight of the issue is just some of the character interactions are a lot of fun. Starline's kind of panicked, going straight to the showdown? No matter, I'll beat you once to do it again, is a really, really funny bit. Rouge just kind of breaking free on her own. And somehow Tails did the same. I'm not entirely sure how they did it. What's the point of tying them up if they can just break free whenever they want? But I love Omega's, this unit is never unarmed. We get that great Jamerl and Cream bit, when Cream comforts him. And then, yeah, the whole issue is filled with great little moments like that. I'm not going to go through all of them again because this is already half an hour. Yay! But yeah, also does kind of set up, it's not quite a whole new status quo. It's not that game changing or anything. But, we now have Val as a permanent member of the team, at least a, for now, member of the team, official member of the team, that's the word. Vanilla might be a little bit more hesitant to allow Cream to go on any more adventures anytime soon, if the end of the issue is anything to go by. And then we have this Shadow scene, and I do think that Clutch's Dark Chao is going to be like a companion for Shadow in the future. I really want that. I really, really want that. And then yeah, we're kind of teased with Tails cloning. And that's the hook we need to get through the next 4 weeks till issue 37. So yeah, all in all, this was a fun ending to Chao racing the Badnik bases. It wasn't huge, it wasn't fantastic, it wasn't incredible, but it was just a lot of fun. And sometimes, with a low-stakes arc like this, that's all you really need. So, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the issue and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. Do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!